So, Sheikh Umar, thank you for making out time for this short interview session. Just want to know how much I Renew project by Search for Common Ground has impacted you. But first, let's know who you're speaking with.
Well, my name is Sheikh Omar Farouk Muhammad, but I don't call myself Sheikh. Only people address me that. My name is Omar Farouk Muhammad. But people call me Sheikh, some call me Ustaz. Why? Because I'm one of the Imams of the community. Yes, and I'm a community leader. I'm a peace advocate and a FOB advocate in Nigeria. And I do a lot of programs with a lot of NGOs. And the best NGOs that change my life is the Search for Common Ground. I think they're the best so far.
Thank you very much. That's good to know. So then, describe the impact of religious conflicts that has happened, around you, especially here in the Plateau. What's the impact like of the conflicts on you and your family?
Well, as an individual, I grew up in a society where we've learned and we were given discipline. They say charity begins at home. Our parents have taught us how to deal with people, even before any NGO, any organization taught us how to have to have coexistence. We have our constitution, which is the Quran, that is teaching us to do all those things. That is why when any other conflicts will come, the book of the Quran is guiding us. God says in the Quran, Ya ayyuhan nas, O you people. We knew from the start that we are people. We are not Muslims first, we are people first. That is why God said in the Quran, O you people, we created you from males, females, from different tribes and nations, so that you can come and work to understand each other, not to tolerate each other. Tolerance is not a good word. When you say you are tolerating somebody, that means you don't like him, but you are still staying with him. But to come and understand and work together so that you can grow in your values and your faith, that is what our religion is teaching us. And I did a missionary school from my elementary 1 close to elementary 7. We all had assembly with both Christians and Muslims and people that don't even have a religion. That is how we grow up in that society. So it is not a different thing to us. It is not a Gen Z period of nowadays, that the Christians are in their own school, the Muslims are in their own school, and other people that are other worshippers, they are doing their own. But in our society, we are together. That is why it is not the society we live happily ever after, and we try to meld the society. We try to build bridges in the society. That is why our age group, we don't have problem.
Okay, thank you very much. So I understand here in Jos, conflict has happened, especially in 2010. Can you tell us what was the impact of these conflicts into you and also in the life of your family?
Yes, a lot of people are saying conflicts is religious conflicts. Our religion doesn't have a problem. They are using religion to make the conflicts to become bigger. Most of the conflicts are not religious. They are maybe banditry, maybe politics, maybe urbanization, maybe overland issue, maybe perception of people. This one have come to this land, maybe indigenization. All those things that are making conflicts to come. Oh, farmers and herders, this our land, this is our land. That is the genesis of all conflicts. It is not religious. It is not religious. If it is religious, people will be gathering weapons to keep so that they can fight their own. But we don't do that. The impact of 2010 conflicts in Jos, well, it is sometimes I don't want to remember it, because we normally have meetings with the Christians that are in our neighbors and us. But unfortunately, that night is Monday night, on the 10th of January 2010. I took children to school, but I cannot return home. I went with only my singlet, a t-shirt and a trouser, and have my 2 wives in my house in Anglo Jos with a newborn baby. But unfortunately, the house was raised ablaze. I couldn't locate them. After a week, I heard that somebody took them to Abuja. Some army took them to Abuja. From there, even my old father, some people have to take him out from his house, and they brought him here, because those have found, they are asking where am I. So with the help of some securities, we brought my father here. So after the crisis, I went back to the house, everywhere I was born, and it is written Peace Walker. They wrote it with marker, Peace Walker. They wrote it, and they demolished the area. Everything was born, everything. It was very, very unfortunate. And later on, we found out even people that came for the crisis, they're not even from the locality. They're from another area. But some of them, I even know them. After a month or so, I saw people with my clothes. Yes. The clothes I got from Dubai and the rest, they are putting them. I did new ones that they're being removed from their pocket. And they are engraved, they are with my name. They don't even know the meaning, it's in Arabic. They are writing it, they are putting it. I said, where do they get this? They say, they bought it. Some people went to destroy some houses, they got a lot of things and they bought it. But I forgive them. I forgive them. They said they don't even know that it's my house. I've forgiven them.
No, that's very touching, Ustaz. And sorry about what happened. That's very touching. Okay, so can you give us a few examples of situations that happened to you and your family as a result of this conflict? You already shared that, but do you have any other examples you want to give?
Yeah, it was terrible. No shelter, no clothes to put, and you cannot go back to other relatives. Everyone is trying to take care of himself. That is why we say all scholars are supposed to look for survival. Scholars shouldn't depend on government and on individuals. They should have something doing. If you look at the messengers and the prophets, they are all workers. Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, is a carpenter. Prophet Muhammad is a hider. David is a goldsmith. But today, religious leaders are dependent on what people will give them. Then I have some little money in my account. I have to go and buy new clothes for my family. And some relatives send clothes for me. From Kano, from Katsina, from Nasarawa here. My students, they had what happened. Some of them, they have to send clothes for me and my family. I become a beggar. I shed tears. Even to eat food is difficult. But I cannot go to the rehabilitation center. Whatever I get, I'll even supply them. I'll never forget one man, one Zumunta Musa. I always pray for him. He's late now. He's the one that brings food for me here every day. Me and my father. It is really touching. Then my family, I don't even know where they are. My children, I don't even know where they are. Only the children that I took to school, they are around 5, 6, 7, and 8 years old. Those one, I took them to my brother's house in the town. They are still staying there. But they are managing. They are managing. Where in our house we are comfortable. Everyone is having his own room. We have our own lights. We have our own television. We are enjoying. But now, when crises occur, it will put you into a lot of problems, into a lot of troubles. You will be enter into a trauma. And before coming out of it, it's very difficult. But God's so kind, we will be able to come out of it because we are working there. We still pursue our work. I'm into security and I'm into contracts. I do a lot of work. Apart from being a clergy, I do a lot of work. I'm educated. I have my first degree in Arabic. Then law. Then now I'm doing my criminology and security studies. 3 degrees. And with those degrees, you have knowledge, you have discipline. You learn discipline. That's why we say today, most of our parents are degree holders and PhD holders, but they are giving birth to nuisance. Why? Because they are only teaching them discipline without giving them education without discipline. So discipline without education is useless. And education without discipline is useless. You have to have both of them. That what help us in those periods. And we are reading our books. Our books are telling us to be patient. Our books are telling us, just like the Quran says to us, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ. As you came to this world, we'll test you with fear. وَالْجُوءِ, sometimes with hunger. وَنَقْسٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ, sometimes we'll take away your wealth. وَالْأَنفُسِ, sometimes we'll even take away your life. But God said, وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. But a glad tidings to a person that will have patience and perseverance. God will pay him in the hereafter. That means there's a hereafter. If you do that, God will reward you in this world and in the hereafter. Let me tell you, after all these things, before a year, I've got the money to build another house. Without begging from anybody, without any NGO giving me any money. I remember there's one NGO, Bridge Builders Association of Nigeria. I'm part of them. I normally go for training with them in Kaduna and the rest through one Mahdi Shehu. So that time he sent zinc for me and other building materials to build my house. But I share it to the locality because there are people poorer than me. I gave it out, 10 zincs, 5 zincs, 100 blocks, and the rest, and I gave them the money that I was given that time. I share it to my own people in my locality. So that is how the aftermath of every crisis is a problem. And before you come out of it, it will take time.
Thank you, Sheikh. These people that caused this conflict, how did you feel about them? The Syria group, and what kind of people did you think they are?
I think they are uneducated and they don't have discipline, and they are money mongers. They need money. They are sent by the politicians. Yes, that's what I know at the end of the day. And they don't even know what they are doing. They don't even know the house they are burning. They are just asked, do this, then do this. And I learned this on our program with iRenew Research. They asked us to write peace on the piece of paper. Then they said to us we should tear it. But I remember during that accident, I didn't tear mine because why would I tear it? People don't ask questions. Why would I do this? Then they didn't ask questions. Why are we destroying this house? Why are you destroying these people? Why are you giving us guns? Why are you giving them? They didn't ask questions because they are illiterate and they don't have discipline. And they don't even go to the church or the mosques. And they are not Christians or they are not Muslims. That's the reason why, that's how I tag them. They are ignorant of what they are doing. And at the end of the day too, they will feel remorse on what they are doing. And most of them, before doing all these acts, they will be under influence of drugs. That's what I feel on them.
Thank you very much. So describe an experience. I'm happy you mentioned, iRenew having participated in that when they said they should share, tear that piece written on the paper. That means you participated in an activity.
Yeah.
So can you describe your experience with the activity? Can you remember the name of that activity? So what did you do? Can you remember? I know you mentioned one now, how they said you should tear this and you ask questions. So tell us, what was that activity? Can you tell us what you did?
Well, in the activity we did, there are a lot of activities we did. A lot of, we discuss about perception, we discuss about early warning, error response, we discuss about digital peace building. We discuss about perception and what it is. It was the other one, fake news, and we discuss about the difference between well, the programs are so many. There are so many. Empathy and sympathy. Yeah. What is the difference between them? So we learned a lot. So out of those things we learned, I learned a lot. And also how to spread, how to give a message, how to send a message. Oh, that one make an impact. Because any message, you have to make sure that it is the real message. Do you know, after that crisis, somebody sent a message to us as a leader that there are people that came to the Christian side with a lot of machines. They wanted to come and destroy the next day again. We called them. They said they received the same news. We had a meeting with them. Had even we didn't call them, we'll just prepare to attack. But they collected the same news. After we took it to the office of the DSS for verification, we are told that even the number is not a Nigerian number. The message is not sent even from Nigeria. To tell you that there are other forces that are trying to destroy this country. It is not only the people in Nigeria, not only politicians. Maybe they have influence in it or not. But iRenew have made a lot of changes. Look at, all of us are adults there. But when the anchor of the program told somebody in the ears to tell it to another person, before sending it to 3 people, the story have changed. The story have changed. So even the Quran have told us that إِذَا جَاءَكُمْ فَاسِقٌ بِنَبَإٍ فَتَبَيَّنُوا. If a person brought a news to you, verify it first. Where does it come from? How does it come from? How will it affect you? And what have you? So we will learn a lot. iRenew have made, we learn a lot from this program of iRenew, especially the digital way of sending messages. This is what we are using now to send our messages, to make sure that messages reach the audience, and who are your targets, and what have you. I will learn a lot on that too.
Great. Okay, so how have your perception changed after participating with Search? How do you see yourself and others differently?
Yes, already we are born with knowledge, but we add more knowledge. Search has had deep the knowledge to us, so that we can be able to impact it or to step down the knowledge they have given us. You know, there's no knowledge is wasted. No knowledge is wasted. That is why they said, طَلَبَ الْعِلْمِ مِنَ الْمَحَدِ إِلَى الْلَحَدِ. You have to seek for knowledge from the cradle to the grave. From the cradle to the grave. Even if I reach 100 years, if there is a program on site, I will still go. So that because I know I will learn something. Yes.
Okay. How has your life changed after participating in the program? That's one. Did it change in any of your relationships with others, especially with Christians? You know, have you been able to use any of the skills or new relationships to change something around you?
Already my relationship with Christian is, since when I was a kid, is still there, and it has even improved more. Why? Because I'm guided. I grow up with them. I learn with them. We celebrate with them. Even in the Quran, God have told us that the closest people to you are the Christians, because among them there are monks and they are not agororgan. This is what the Quran said to us. And the reason why my relationship didn't change is because I read the Bible a lot, and the Quran too. I have Bibles, a lot of Bibles. I read them. I have the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Revised Standard, the King James Version, the New Life for All. I even have Bibles in Arabic, the real Bible, the real one that was written in Hebrew. I have it. I have it. Like this. This is a Bible. But if somebody saw it, you think it's a Quran. This is a Bible. So my relationship with Christians have not changed. I have relations that are even Christians.
Yeah.
I have workers that are Christians. For now, I call somebody's name. He's an indigent of this state. He's my maintainer in the mosque, and he's a Christian. If it is somebody who say, they will not allow Christians to work in the mosque, they will call for a Christian to work in the mosque. Even some of my securities are Christians. So to show you that the relationship did not change, it even improved. And God told us in the Quran, "Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wal mau'izati al hasana." If you are calling somebody to your religion, he's using your attitude and behaviors that are making change. Not to fight, not to hate, not to kill. Attitudes and behaviors. That's how you win hearts.
Super, that's very impressive. Okay, lastly, Sheikh, if you had a chance to tell people one thing about this program, that's the iRenew program, what would that be?
Well, it is superb. It came at the right time, where other people trying to destroy the humanity, where people is trying to teach people different perception. They are trying to change your mindset. That is why today you should trust in God. After trusting in God, you should be patient, and you should open your ears and your eyes. You shouldn't allow people to use you for their own selfish interest, because their children are not there.